I didn't copy Suppy, okay?
And then he copied me.
I had my K24 first.
Who ran first?
All right, look, man. Boomhauer's gone, so I guess we'll roll into the next giveaway. I got an idea. I think I know what you guys want.
Are you sure you know what they want?
I know.
All right, so let's go get it.
You actually pick up motors on the backside. Suppy, what are you doing?
It's like this, right?
Suppy, what are you doing? It's not hard. Working on cars is way harder than holding this camera.
You're right. But it's way easier to hold it like this.
That's just not a view anybody needs to see of us. Today, we are at JDM of California, one of our favorite places to come to because they bring in all the motors that we don't get. 2JZ GTEs, Beams. We get K24s, but they have better K24s, SR20s, all the Subaru motors, so you name it, they get it and bring it here so that we can swap them into our favorite cars. And we're here because you want to pick up
a K24. Oh, I see a K24.
That's David there. He's always hiding from the camera, but that's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. JDM California. K24s are low-key like the new LS. Even though they've been around for so long, they've terrorized the Honda scene. Many people have rear-wheel drive, put them in rear-wheel drive platforms, but now people are making swap kits to put these in anything. And unopened, stock head gasket, stock everything, throw a turbo on it and some fuel, and you make 500 horsepower.
I was the first one, and then Hurt saw me do it.
I didn't copy Suppy, okay?
And then he copied me.
I had my K24 first.
Who ran first? Who ran first? Which car ran first?
I
win. Mine went first.
Anyway, these motors are great platforms for any swap. You want to go NA? These make 200, 240 horsepower NA. You put some cams and build the head, throw some goodies on it, you can make 300 horsepower, ITVs, all that good stuff. Or throw a turbo on it, bone stock, make 500 horsepower. I did it with 16 pounds of boost. That's fantastic. That's more horsepower than Suppy's car made. Just so you know. Just so you know. So he did it first, but mine made more power. Anyway, K24, RBB, out of a TSX, bone stock. Suppy had the great idea to just get a motor and build it, and then it's the perfect time to build stuff.
Yeah. We got this engine back from JDM of California. Why did we choose this engine? Because this engine has Vtec, it's got VTC, it's 4-cylinder, it's 4-stroke, it's got all the cool acronyms that everybody wants to know about. So the basic idea of these videos is not to teach you how to build an engine, but how they work, the basic mechanics of it, the basic principles of sensors, how that all works together. So you can apply whatever you learned here or kind of think you learned to a different type of engine, because basically a 4-stroke internal combustion engine are very, very, very similar in all aspects. It doesn't matter if it's 4-cylinder, 8-cylinder, 12, 10, 32, 18, 6, whatever cylinders, they all basically work on the same principle. So we're gonna tear this engine down, rebuild it with a whole bunch of go fast bits. And then during the process of the rebuild, I'm gonna explain to you how things work. Valve cover. Ah. Pull the coils out. By the way, this is called a coil on plug. Self-explanatory. There's a coil, and guess what's underneath it? Spark plug. Hence, coil on plug.
Just cut that?
We don't need that. We're gonna do something else with the computer stuff. All right. Keep going on the valve cover, right? Save all that stuff. You know anything about these motors?
These things are weird, man.
They're not weird.
Are those rocker arms? What are the things under the cams?
The things under the cams, yeah, they're rockers, but they're special type of rockers. You know this motor. You have one in your 240.
Yeah.
Because it's probably the best motor you've ever had in your life, but okay. How many valves are in this head?
16 valves?
16 valves. So you would think there would be 16 cam lobes that move the valves up and down.
Right. But it's 2 for 1?
It's 3, right?
3?
So why?
Wait.
Why is there 3 lobes on one cam?
Vtec?
Yeah, because it's Vtec. You see these 2 lobes right
Like
here?
these are the normal ones and that's the
Yeah,
Vtec
so
one?
on low RPM, it rides on this. Yeah, on high RPM, it rides on this.
It builds pressure and like moves it or what?
No.
How does that work? How does the Vtec lobe make contact at high RPM versus low RPM? Like what changes?
What changes, right? The cam is solid, so there's no changing the cam profile. If you notice, this is variable cam lift. So you notice the height differences in the cam, right? You see that's lower than that one.
Mm-hmm.
So this, what happens is this runs on a very small lift, and then it gets on the higher RPM, it runs on the big cam, which is the higher lift. That's why there's 3 rockers in here. 1, 2, 3. So on the low RPM, this is not engaged. So these 2 rockers move independently, and it rides on these 2 lobes here.
Mm-hmm.
Under high RPM, the Vtec kicks in, which it sends oil pressure.
Yeah.
And there's a pin inside here that shoots out, and then it locks all 3 together.
So then it rotates.
And then it rides on the
So
big.
that center rocker is free floating until the pressure locks it in place, and then it.
And then it runs on the large cam.
Interesting.
That's how Vtec.
I never.
You
really,
never really like thought about it.
No.
All right, man, we're over here at Vtec Motorsports. We're dropping off the giveaway K24. My man Eric over here.
Eric from Vtec Motorsports. We're gonna build this thing up again for you.
They're gonna bore and hone this motor. The pistons that we got are 10 thousandths over. That means you just gotta make the hole a little bigger. So they're gonna take care of all that, and then they're gonna balance the crank with the new damper, measure everything, make sure everything's good, and then we're gonna assemble it. With all the rotating assembly all balanced and everything's clearance correctly, they're just gonna have no problems going up to 10K. So what do you guys primarily do? Just full out machine shop
Just
stuff?
machine shop. This other part of the shop, I still left the back here,
Okay.
but we're all into the buggies, and that's our primary.
So, this is the V8.
This is the V8, the one that we ran actually in the import drags. The one that we did with Nathan was with nitrous. Same motor with nitrous.
Paisley Motorsports.
That's right. Paisley and Chris Rado.
Chris Rado. Wow, those two names. They're out here now, right?
Yeah, they live out here.
I'll get one of these, put them in the Land Cruiser, and then 2J in the Supra.
Yes.
The block's at the machine shop. When it comes back, we're gonna assemble it. We have a buttload of parts. We're gonna put it all together. I'm gonna rebuild this engine, but I'm not gonna show you how to rebuild an engine. I'm gonna explain how an engine works. This is not a how-to video, more or less how it works video. So if anybody's ever been wondering, you know, what is bore and stroke, what is compression ratio, Vtec or variable valve timing, all that stuff, I'm gonna explain. So this is new for us too. This is a educational piece. So the only thing we haven't figured out yet is what to call it. So comment below, let us know what you think this series should be called. So there you have it. That's our next giveaway. It's going to be a built all-motor K24. Pistons, rods, it's going to have a CNC ported head. Yep. Entry is super easy. You go to Hoonigan.com or Carcane Supply, you buy something, you're entered. The last guy bought some brake pads and went home with some pads and a C10. Even if you don't win, second, third, and fourth place have prizes also. Our friends over at GEARWRENCH supplied us some tools. So to recap, first place is the all-motor, fully built K24. Second, third, and fourth place gets GEARWRENCH tools. Enter now. What an ass. Oh shit. Man, I suck. 200.
Jumbo, you up?
200.
Pay for my round?
Yeah, I paid for your round. Let's go. I got. Oh, damn!